Recently, someone has challenged us with the claim that morality has evolved, and so therefore we don't need God to explain it. Well, there's a couple things that we kind of need to get clarification on up front here. Number one, we need to know what the person means when they say morality. And we want to know, in particular, are they talking about objective morality, or are they talking about some kind of relativistic ethics? Now, often the person who wants to hold some kind of evolutionary ethic also wants to hold that this ethic, this morality, is objective in its very nature. By objective, we simply mean it's true whether anyone believes it or not. And so there are these kind of objective moral laws that exist out there in the universe. And so the person who wants to propose evolutionary ethics says, look, evolution has explained this for us. Well, certainly evolution can provide an explanation, but we want to know, is it a good and adequate explanation, or is God a more reasonable explanation? So you've got kind of these different options, evolution or God, and you're using those things to explain this phenomena, right, objective morality. Which is the better explanation? And I want to say evolutionary ethics is inadequate to explain objective morality. In fact, think about the process of evolution, right? This is a changing process. The idea behind evolution is this adaptation ultimately for an organism's survival. And so an organism changes, adapts. And on the evolutionary view, what you find is that oftentimes there's this equivocation, meaning they'll talk about objective morality and how evolution explains objective morality. But in the explanation, what will happen is objective morality will actually go out the door, and they'll equivocate, and what they'll replace objective morality with is some kind of changing relativistic ethic. And so, in more primitive days, ethics was this way. The rules were this way, the moral laws were this way to help aid survival. But as we have evolved or changed, morality is now this way. Well, when you do that, in the explanation, you lose objective morality. When we talk about objective morality, these things are true whether anyone believes them or not. So it was wrong to torture children for fun 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. It's wrong today, and it will be wrong 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 1,000 years from now. That's what we mean by objective morality. And so evolutionary ethics, one of its inadequacies is that it equivocates, and you lose objective morality in their explanation. But then I think another big problem for evolutionary ethics is it can't give you prescriptions. It can give you a description of how things are, but it can't prescribe things. Because if in the evolutionary scheme of things, evolution is kind of this changing process to help an organism survive and adapt to its environment, well, how in the world can then it ever prescribe what is going to be the best system of morality to help human beings survive in the future? We just don't know the environmental circumstances. And so you couldn't it can't prescribe. It can't say, okay, raping women, for example. Raping women is wrong today, and it will be wrong 100 years from now. It doesn't seem to me that evolution has the intellectual resources to be able to do that. It's not a prescriptive enterprise. It's only descriptive. And so those are just two of the problems with evolutionary ethics. And so if evolutionary ethics is an inadequate explanation, we've got to turn elsewhere. And that's where I think God provides a sound foundation for objective morality.